Welcome back to the channel. My name is Wong, and today I'm super excited because we are showcasing a very special Honda, and it is none other than the iconic JDM legend, the 1999 Honda Integra DC2 Type R. However, underneath the hood of this thing is actually a very serious build. From factory with the B18C7, this car makes 140 kilowatts of power at the crank. And with a K-swap K20 JDM engine, you're good for making about 160 kilowatts of power at the crank. However, this car is far from just being a K-swap DC2 Type R because it has a Garrett G30-770 Turbocharger strapped onto it, and on 10 PSI of boost with factory standard internals, this car makes 270 kilowatts of power at just the front wheels. It is absolutely insane, and this is by far the craziest Honda that I've ever featured out here. So I've got the owner of the car right here. This is Yaz.
Hey, how are you, man?
Good, brother. How are you, man? This thing looks absolutely insane, man.
Thanks, man. Well, this is 199 DC2 Type R. I've had it for a little under 3 years, and I bought it with the K-swap already done. Yeah, I've enjoyed that for about a year, but I think it was time for more.
Does it go all right?
It goes all right.
That's what we like to hear, man.
Yeah.
Can you show us under the bonnet of this
No
thing?
worries.
Because I think everybody wants to know how it looks. I really like what you've done with the aesthetics, though. It still looks like a factory DC2 Type R. You know, the GDR wheels really set it off. And in champ white, it looks beautiful, man. Oh my lord.
Yeah.
What a setup. Tell us about what you've done with the engine, man. This thing looks so clean.
Engine itself is standard. It's stock internals. Just
Right.
got head start and an MLS head gasket. Everything was done full custom from scratch.
Okay.
So all the dump pipe, the headers, all the intercooler piping, the intake piping and everything. It's done by the boys at CPG down in Keysborough.
Yeah, super clean build.
Yeah, when it was there, they had a half rad with a center feed manifold.
Right.
But I got rid of that to get a full-size Mishimoto radiator, so that helps with the cooling. Turbo car, that's all it needs.
Yeah.
And it's running a G30-770 ball bearing, so it's reverse rotational, so it makes it really responsive. Yeah, it's really fun to drive on the streets.
What's the power rated at for the G30-770?
It's rated at 600 kilowatts, so I'm not even using like half of it even.
Jeez, and because you're on stock internals,
Yeah, that's why I can't push it as much. Yeah, so
Okay.
that's where it was safe at 270. Yeah.
wow, that's mega. I think something that I've always wanted to know about a turbo K series is that, does it come on before VTEC or does it come on after? So in terms of power delivery.
Well, we made it so it comes after the boost.
Okay,
So VTEC is set at 5.5.
5.5, that's pretty high.
5.5, yeah, so turbo spools at 3. So by the time it gets to boost and VTEC, and then I have a 45mm wastegate opens up at the same time.
It's like when all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So
Does it put the power down?
yeah, with the tires now it kind of helps.
Kind of helps.
Yeah,
Oh no.
kinda helps, you could
Oh
say.
no.
But when it warms up, it sticks and it goes alright. Yeah.
That's sweet,
Yeah, I
man.
got Archer plate R's on it right now.
Yeah, good
On
set of
32
tires.
GDR wheels, yeah. And I got the Willwood 4-pot brakes to help it brake.
I'm sure you need that, yeah, for
of
sure,
course,
with that
yeah.
power.
It's running on E85, and I got a Ktuned Billet shifter to help it with the
The shifting, yeah.
shorter throws and everything, so that feels good as well when driving it.
That's awesome, man. What was your intention for the build? Was it drag racing, you know, hill runs or track?
Well, mostly it was just like a fun street car it started out with when I got it as NA,
Yeah.
and then after that I just wanted more, and then yeah, now I've turboed it and it's twice as fun, I guess you could say.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is actually insane. Do you have any more like future plans for the car moving forward?
Yeah, of course, man. There's never ending with these kind of builds, you know.
Exactly
So
right.
I want to go K24 forged bottom end.
Wow.
Eventually, yeah. And I should.
What kind of power would you make with?
Probably just
forged
double the
motor?
power, to be honest. Around maybe 450, 500 kilowatts to the wheels.
Dude.
That's what I'm hoping for. But we'll just see. Like other stuff will break on its way anyway. So like gearbox, maybe I'll need to change that or build it. And then yeah, maybe all-wheel drive as well. That's what I'm planning. But
Wow.
we'll see how we go with. Yeah. We'll see how we go.
That will be a very serious Type R, probably one of the craziest in the world. So if you guys want to see a part 2 with Yaz's insane Type R, let me know in the comments below, but I can't wait to showcase this car out here. So if you guys have been enjoying it so far, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and check out Yaz's Instagram in the description box below. And guys, let's get straight into it. Alright guys, we are jumping in the Honda Integra DC2 Type R. I'm super excited to drive this thing. Listen to that motor. Can't believe this is going to be my first K20 turbocharged Honda that I've ever driven. And it's not even a small turbo, this is a full-fledged build. Still with factory internals, which is just a showcase of Honda's engineering in their motors from way back in the day. Alright, the clutch is a little bit on the tricky side, but apart from that, so far pretty good. It's a twin plate clutch, something you would expect from a car with this much power. It is on the way out according to the owner Yaz. Right off the bat, the car feels like a pretty stock standard DC2 Type R with a K-swap. You know, it's got no power steering, no aircon, it's stripped out in the trunk. It's that street race car feel that you just know. You're gonna have to forgive me as well. It's really, really loud in this cabin, but I hope you can really get a chance to hear the noise of this turbo K20 DC2 Type R. Cruising at about third gear, just at the speed limit at about 60 kilometers per hour. Seems very composed. You know, the coilovers still on some buddy clubs, really well set up. And I think if you're just potting around town, you could really get away with just driving this car as a normal Type R. The owner Yaz actually utilized it as a daily driver for the first 6 months of the turbo setup and then realized this thing is destined for some serious lap times and drag times. You know, obviously the JDM K20a at the heart, and then with the Garrett G30-770 turbo strapped on, just a crazy concoction for absolute power. Let's see how it goes, guys. Second gear. It's about 20% throttle and you hear the spool of that turbocharger. It's pretty loud in here, so I hope you guys can hear me quite clearly. 4,000, second gear. That is literally 20% throttle. But it's not actually scary to drive. It's really quite confidence inspiring. I'm actually shocked. Honestly, you'd think that it would just absolutely scare you, but no, it feels really quite, yeah, confidence inspiring for lack of a better word. It just feels so planted and sorted of a car even at the corner, the car doesn't scare you. It's so progressive and linear, the way that the turbo blends in so nicely with VTEC, and beautiful to drive. I'm actually shocked. And then when you find a straight, you can just jump on power. It still has all that essence of the Type R magic in the sense that it's so easy to drive. Turn-in is fantastic and the handling is as you would expect from a Type R, you know, lightweight, weighs just over 1,000 kilos, and that front-wheel drive magic is just so true in every single aspect in this car, you know. It just stays so planted. Even with power like this, absolutely insane, and I'm still wanting to push this car harder. It's literally been 5 minutes that I've been behind the wheel of this car, but it feels second nature to me, like I know exactly what the front wheels are doing. You can really control this chassis, and I'm actually well this car has been set up. You know, from every single aspect. I'm not trying to really just hype up this car, it's just so good. I've driven a lot of serious cars here on the channel, but the fact that I'm so used to this car, I think it's just a testament of how well Honda had engineered this vehicle, and then Yaz putting it together with the K series engine, the 6-speed LSD gearbox, and then mating it to this Garrett G30-770 Turbocharger. 270 kilowatts of power at just the front wheels on only 10 psi of boost. Without power steering, you really got to fight the wheel, but it's so rewarding to drive, and when you get it right, it's intoxicating, and then the noise. Out here on the street, it's actually a very usable amount of power. You know, you get boost from about 3,000 RPM, and you can just hear it start to spool up. Listen to those pops and bangs and the burbles. It just sounds so good. Listen to the spool. Just a little bit of that dose, and already that's all you just want to hear in this car. You know, heeling and towing is like nothing else. The gearbox is so sharp and precise. Just that Honda gear shift that you know and love. You know, driving so many different Type Rs, EK9, DC5, FD2, FK8. You know, they all just culminate together to be such great drivers cars and sports cars, and whether you modify it to such extreme lengths, it still delivers a package that's just so good to drive. And even with a turbocharger smacked onto a K-swap Type R, it doesn't take away from the Type R formula. It actually just enhances it. And I don't think it's all about that NA security, because with this first experience with turbo in a K20 DC2 Type R, I'm actually just blown away by how good it is. You know, I can't really compare this car to other examples that I've driven. Obviously the K-swap DC2 NA just ramped up maybe 5 times. This is that car in the closest comparison. It's still raw, it's still visceral, it's so engaging to drive, and to build a car like this, Yaz has told me he spent probably about 20k to get this turbo set up, all tastefully done up and plumped into this car, and honestly I think it's so worth it. To find a car like this, or just a DC2 Type R for that matter, you're looking at spending here in Australia probably around $30,000 with a turbo kit, a tasteful clean example, honestly upwards of the 50 grand mark. Honestly, Yaz, you really built something special here. It's not every day that I get to drive something as serious as this, and I can firmly say this is one of the craziest, yet still so sorted and well put together builds I've ever showcased out here in the channel. I can't stop driving it. I would love to take this car out on a track, or even a drag day, because out here on the hills, it's an absolute riot. It's just a unique blend, because at about 3,000 the boost starts to build, and then you hit VTEC at about 4.5, 5, and it's just all hell literally breaks loose, and so much traction. You would drive this car like a front wheel drive, and when you're around the corner you inch on the power and it just hooks up right through, and you don't actually have to be afraid when you jump off boost, because it just makes you have even more traction. It's so counterintuitive because it's got so much power. The more power it gives you, I feel in a way, it's like more traction that the car offers. It's actually just wild. So guys, I'm not going to pretend like I can remember the full mod list of this car. I'll leave it all in the description box for you guys to check out, because it's pretty insane, and still, this is far from the final form of this DC2 Type R. Yaz has planned to do a K-Frank, K24, K20N, and then with all-wheel drive coupled into this madness, it'll just be a very serious street car. I think by then, it'll probably be more of a drag setup, but as it is, I think it's a very good street car and still quite usable as a daily driver. Still comfortable, very compliant over the road, and I think overall, set up in this championship white paintwork with the R32 GDR wheels, the R888R semi-slick tires, you know. Personally, I prefer the JDM front, but Yaz really likes to stay true to the OEM Aussie spec car, and I think the guys at CPG had really put this car together so nice. I've had such a blast driving it, and I want to say a huge thank you to the owner Yaz for allowing me to showcase it out here on the channel. So if you guys have enjoyed it, please be sure to smash that thumbs up button in the comments below. Tell me what you like about this turbo K20 Honda Integra DC2 Type R, and as well as that, consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Please take care. Bye for now.